Thop ESL presenting you Thop Talks with amazing personality, and from all this we can understand how beautiful his heart is.
That's what makes life. He's definitely a big top. He was a regional bank manager for a regional bank, Sudha Bank.
Hello everybody. Good morning. I'm happy to see you on this cool Sunday morning, and very grand welcome to our Thop Talks. So, I'm Tejasri Remma hosting this session. I'm so happy and glad to see all in this cool Sunday morning, waking up early and joining to our Thop Talk. Thank you for your presence. And Thop ESL presenting you Thop Talks with amazing personality, a wonderful Thop speaker along with us. So I invite Shanti Putta sir to our talks. Hello sir, welcome you. Hello.
Thank you, Teja. Okay. Yeah, good morning, students, and good morning, Shravan Kumar Shravan.
So first we'll tell the introduction about you, sir, to all the presenters, all the people here. Then we move on to our rituals, invocation and gratitude theme. Okay. Sir graduated B.Tech from Acharya Nagarjuna University and M.E. CSE from Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology. He is Managing Director at Demands Technologies Private Limited. He is currently leading a team to provide enterprise solutions, mobile applications and providing software integration solution to IoT industry. Experienced Vice President with a demonstrated history of working in the financial services industry. Strong professional skilled in Oracle database, data warehousing, Java, trading systems and Unix. Also, sir and his team are working COVID work at ground level. In spite of all this, he is having a very cute and young family. Even though he is very busy person, he finds time to help the society. And he is going to do a lot of work at the ground level of people who are affected this COVID pandemic. And from all this, we can understand how beautiful his heart is. We are lucky that he cares about our Thop ESL. We are having two rituals in Thop ESL. So let's start with an invocation.
This is who we are. We are a team. Talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect to each other. We see beauty in everything and everyone. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to others. We take ownership in everything we do. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can do extraordinary things? This is who we are, the team of Thop ESL, written by Shivani Kshirsagar. Thank you all.
So now let's, sir, every time for any Thop Talk, we go with a gratitude story. We feel that one of our weapon is gratitude. So sharing gratitude stories makes more energy and adds more energy to our talk. So,
hello everyone, I am Suprada from Thop Gratitude Team. Today's gratitude, I am working on a book, Uncommon Accomplishments of Common People. Here, we read story of common people achievements. I have written the story of my mother. I think that was the first time I wrote and expressed to. While I was reading the story and expressing about her in detail, she felt very happy and emotional. I didn't expect that would be the reaction of my mother. She felt happy and said, "I'll sleep by your side." That's where I understood how she got connected with my words of being grateful to her. Being grateful to your parents by showing your love and spreading happiness to them is more important. Daily, at least sometime, appreciate your parents and say that I am grateful to have you as my parents. By Nivedita. Thank you.
Good morning, students and Shravan. Actually, that invocation and your rituals are really wonderful. Actually, yeah. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. The question, like, who are we? First of all, I know today's topic is not. I know while my professional introduction is given, so obviously it's going to be a mix of experiences that I would share over a period of time. So today's topic is going to be, what are we doing as a Nalgonda NRI? I am not a NRI anymore. I'm not NRI per se. I don't know what I should call resident. I don't know. So basically resident but not citizen. I can say that. So, but the thing is that nalgonda.org, that's what we refer to our team, nalgonda.org. It's interesting. I know it's a little bit complicated to every time say nalgonda.org, but we start talking like that, nalgonda.org, for quite some time. But it's basically a greater Nalgonda NRIs forum. Earlier it used to be Nalgonda NRIs forum, but now Nalgonda district is divided into 3 districts, and we have been calling greater Nalgonda NRI forum. Okay, so who are we? It's non-resident Indians living abroad, in other countries. Many of them in US, mostly in US, but of course we have some from London and Australia and as well in the group. This group is not a registered organization yet, but after this COVID pandemic is over, we will complete our registration process, and we will go through the registration and all the stuff. So that will happen. So what are we doing? Long time back, 20 years back or so, some individuals thinking what can we do to back home to district, and that is when the conversation started, and individuals have been, coming up together. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, and then come join hands together. So we have been philanthropical activities. So what we are doing is not new to nalgonda.org. So we have been doing. Even though scale may not be that high, but we know that we exist, and we know that we have to act when the need comes. Now, yeah, we took government school student, projects. It could be, addition of library or addition of a room, benches, those kind of stuff, and study materials. One of the guy, I think one of the person who may join actually today. So he has been doing it basically for quite some time. Basically, every summer he used to come, and right after the school starts, because our summer in US is different. So yeah, obviously he used to come around June or something when the school starts, and give introduction books and stuff. So one degree college has been built with NRI funds. So and other activism based, in the sense that lobbying for Hyderabad Vijayawada highway, because too many accidents were happening for too long time. So we had to put billboards reminding politicians, giving letters, making calls, that kind of stuff also we have done. And then the fluoride issue, a long time back there was lot of involvement in making the research there, data collection, bringing in the World Bank involvement, or trying to give them memorandums what's happening, why that Nalgonda area, as some of you know already, is a highly affected area with the fluoride issue. Now I think we are in a good shape for the current generation. Only thing is that we have issues with the past generation, even some youngsters also impacted, how to support them. But new cases, I think we are in a slightly good shape after Mission Bhagirath, everything came. I mean, even the previous government also did something and then added, so it's good. Now, the key thing that I want to emphasize is that we are not registered organization yet, but we still kept this identity, nalgonda.org. The only reason that was possible was individuals never tried to take their name when they worked. Yes, if they have any foundation on their father's name, or yes, in some cases they might have done it, but otherwise, we represented Nalgonda NRI group, even though few people might have contributed. So that is one thing. And after our organization started, other districts also started similar initiative, did the similar thing. That was the whole purpose, actually. I know, there's a sense of belongingness that will never go. As you grow older, you have many types of belongingness, not a unique single belongingness. So this is one of them. We have our college mates, the roommates belongingness. You have a study place belongingness. So you have where we worked for, my company where I worked for 17 years. So there is always such kind of a belongingness. So that's what makes life, worth it, in the sense that you are, you belong to multiple, you are attached to. That's otherwise, man is a, basically it's a social animal. So we have to sense of belongingness. That's what should drive. And if wherever you one gets lost, that sense of belongingness, you will basically you will see at certain point of time kind of lost souls, basically, in the sense that they don't know where they are going. Or even though sometimes they could be highly accomplished people, they may still get lost because they lost the sense of belongingness. Okay, so that's what I just want to emphasize why we started as a Nalgonda.org team. Are we too much in love with the district, or we don't care about other? No, it is not the case. So we have this kind of a sense of belongingness. Okay, so let me go to the next one. Why, now coming back to the current initiative, the COVID-19 work initiative. So what did we do? The moment the issue started, I know that it started in US. It's, it is coming up here. We were not sure, we were not aware that how far it will be impacted. Initially, it looked very light. Whatever reason, like, we would be similar to Thailand or something like that. But instead, it didn't turn out like that. Right. So then lockdown happened. So immediately problems surfaced. So I didn't put a name in the presentation, but as to stick with our principle. But I have to mention Mr. Mahesh Bhagawat, who is a commissioner of police, who are, some of the NRIs who has always been in touch with NRIs. So obviously, some group of our group members, what can we do? That question, raised with him, and the discussion started. So he immediately brought on board the district administrations, collectors, and SPs. And then we realized, so there are, what are the problems? What are exactly the problems? So we figured out that migrant laborers has at that point of time, they were completely caught aware. As lockdown happened overnight. Not much notice was given. So probably for a valid reason, but everybody got stuck. Migrant labor problem, a lack of healthcare supplies. PPE kit used to cost 1,000 rupees, or even for that also was not available immediately. Protection of police personnel, it's a completely new world. Your generation hasn't seen even curfew, in my view. I'm not sure how many of you have seen curfew. At least our generation, I know it's a very for bad reason, but at least we know what it is meant to vacate the streets. But not much of the generation, much of your generation doesn't know what it means to not to come out of the homes. So it's a challenge, and police personnel under stress. Economic troubles of poor families, orphanages, because the monthly donations would stop because of various reasons, because they have their own stress issues, the people who donate. There could be many reasons why it could start. So that's when we decided to collaborate with district administrator. Basically, why? Because if we just go out there on the street, it is unsafe, first of all. And lockdown period, so restrictions, so somebody can take advantage of our presence, or we ourselves, some of us, could be treated as like taken advantage of it. So we didn't want any kind of that thing. That is anyway. And then need analysis, because lockdown, right? So who will give us better information than the administration itself? That was one thing. So that's the only way we can execute. And other thing is an implicit thing, not so explicit, but implicit thing is if we do, the goodwill was very important. Let me tell you, only the last a few days, and the labor camp in Sangareddy area, right, near MRF and that area, right. So there was some issue, and then in some Shakepet also we had some issue, kind of a labor, basically, or the workers frustrated. But you never know the civic, how the civic response would be. So it's very important to maintain goodwill among civic societies and administration during those pandemic times. So it implicitly it helps as well. Then because we are not registered organization, then the question came, how are we going to get the funds here in a proper manner? And the collection, we don't have a donate page for our website and stuff. So far we have been operating as a networking basis and stuff. So that's when the partners, we needed a partnership. So people some of you may have heard, and I'm sure Shravan will. Shravan, did you bring on board Sheila into this anytime?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I know she's very, very busy stuff, but I'm sure at some point of time. But you guys have to do, if you want Mrs. Sheila to come, so you guys have to expand and bring in more students and network with others as well to make the most out of her talk as well. So, and then Philadelphia Telangana Association, you guys are aware already. Ravi Mereddy, you are alumni. Yeah, so Ravi, we used with their services and channelizing the fund collection and disbursement process, paying the receipts and all the stuff. Okay, so why the key point, couple of one word I have highlighted, it's the same thing: collaborate. That's the whole point. Why I have put this information is because you need to have a right partners, you need to have a right collaborators to make the things happen. This has been the true historically as well, at a village level. When you want to accomplish something, how much thing it takes, especially in a segregated society like us. I know it is very bad, I would say, in terms of segregation, in terms of caste, in terms of this thing, but dramatically things happen when you look at closely. When you look at closely, even the pandemic happens in a village in old times, things will come together. So key thing is that collaboration is very important. So that was I put it. Okay. So now the key, another aspect of it, how did it work? See, I'm not saying that, so there are organizations that have done 1,000 times more than, what we did. And but this aspect doesn't change whether it is a small act or a big act. This particular aspect does not change, and that's why I put a heading. I couldn't find a better heading than this, than saying teamwork. So why did I say the teamwork, right? So basically, how do we accomplish this? We have a group of NRIs who want to contribute. That's one thing. And then how do we make things happen? So we realize that there is somebody who need to do the real assessment. India is India, right? So it's very, that is applies to any country and anywhere. Is it not US? Can you believe it? Like, in US, when 9/11 happened, who knows what's the 9/11 is? I think some of you were, how many year old? Maybe just 4 or 3-year-old, 4-year-old kids. So 9/11, that September 11, basically the two towers, then the Twin Towers were attacked in US. So it's such a big event. It's such a worst event in the history that we have seen. And you know what? During that situation, a lot of looting happened. That's unimaginable in America that happened. but it did happen. So any situation will have a trust issues, will have that kind of stuff. So so ground level need assessment is the right team that we are helping. Is it the right people who are helping? So and then logistics. So we need a logistics team. So this is a couple of us, two of us are involved with this. So identify what are the things that needed, what are the resources, size sources of procurement, at the time, pulse oximeters, thermometers, getting the proper sources with the competitive price is very tough. So we need that kind of team, and logistics for, transport, payments, receipt, coordinate with ground level volunteers. So all this stuff, we need a couple of them. So myself and my friend Sudhir were doing it here. Sudhir also came back from US. So we both were doing it. And then ground level team. So actually, I should mention the another, Abhishti Vinil Reddy, right? So so this is the reason why our work was done smoothly. Whatever the initiative that we have done, it would not have been possible had this ground volunteer help is not there. I know Suresh will have, I'm sure Suresh will have his own Thoptel, real Thoptels. We are not, I'm not nowhere near Thop, but he is definitely a big Thop. His job is to be really on the ground. He was there in Nalgonda. There are only probably police. You will see police people on the road, or you will see Suresh. Or some healthcare personnel, and so such is the dedication that he has shown. So it could be we will see in the pictures and stuff, but it could be anything from PPE kit distribution, mask distribution, food distribution, caring for patients, and in so many ways. And Abhishti Vinil Reddy, again, I will encourage Shravan, I'll encourage to get him also, him and his team also on the Thop Talk. And that's another team. I'll tell you one quick example. Some gas, some groceries need to be supplied to almost a Nakrekal area, someplace. Okay, it's so more than 100 kilometers. Said it will be done. What do you mean by it will be done? You are here in Hyderabad. It's already 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. In the night. Said, no, we don't have any night. So he went there, left it at 2 a.m. and stuff, and then along the way he distributed the food on the highway and stuff, and then came back by 4 a.m. I mean, it's like somebody has to be completely unreasonable to do that, and his team has done like that. And then the next team is coordination team. I can tell you, we have a wonderful coordination team on the US side. It's a night time for them and weekend calls. They are always tracking how the donations are coming, where are we spending, what is the need. If needed, be in touch with the administration. Even today they do that. Even today, this second phase also, they have been doing that. Without that, it's not possible. And some of them have actually have put a lot of money as well. So it is kind of a excellent way that they have come together. And interesting thing is that normally NRI groups are infamous for lot of politics, infighting, all that kind of stuff. So in this particular case, the only thing is how do we reach out? That was the only focus. And then last but not least, those are the main reason why the top 3 are exist is NRI members of the forum. It took only 48 hours, right, Suresh? It only 48 hours, to raise all the money. After that, we didn't even ask for anything. We didn't ask. We did not approach individuals. We just put a WhatsApp group. Okay, we are doing this. Come over, jump in, and everybody jumped in. Okay, so that's what we did. And this is a summary slide. You will see in the nalgonda.org, in both Facebook group as well on the website. So we are not going to go into individual activities too much because it's we know that you have been seeing all organizations are doing. So in summary, the 15 lakhs number may look too high, but the reality is that if you the groceries that we have supplied, we calculated, the groceries that we supply to migrant laborers, thousands of migrant laborers, we give a week's worth of supply to thousands of migrant laborers. So we distributed 26,000 tons of rice, 24,000 meals to patients. So, Suresh took as a great collaborator himself. So, Nalgonda jail has a, mechanism to supply food to the hospital. And we expanded that, and we paid for that. And hospital, the attendants, people who come to hospital, they also get food. And my God, it went so well, actually. People loved it at the right time. What we did was excellent work there. Okay, so food provisioning packages, grocery kits. So we helped the teachers. We helped, I think, teachers, it's very difficult for them to come and ask, like, we need help. So we understood that situation, and Suresh has his team delivered to their doorstep without even everyone knowing it. That's the kind of work they did. The police life jackets, that is not related to COVID, but basically we have during the Hyderabad floods, one request came that we immediately need life jackets. So we provided 60 life jackets. We provided 14,000 facial masks. This is all round one of help. Okay, 2,200 PPE kits, 1,500 face shields, N95 masks, 500 of them, and that's everything is in the first round. Okay, so we provided 6 oxygen cylinders at that time. At the time also, the need was not so explicit or no visible than the second round, but we have done that as well. So that is the work, kind of work we have done. And I would say, even though I'm present in this call, presenting our work, don't you ever think that basically I went around extra mile. It is not really like that. It's happened because of the ground volunteer team. It happened because administration was willing to work. It's happened because NRIs willing to donate. It's happened because NRIs willing to coordinate. Time is essential. Teamwork is essential. That's what I again want to reemphasize. Now, unfortunately, we thought that's the end of the story. Let's wrap it up and let's move on with the same motivation. Let's see what other projects we can take. That was the discussion going on in the team. What else we can do going forward? But unfortunately, we couldn't escape the second wave. And second wave, as you guys know, is even more tough on us, very tough on us. So faster, it's very faster, wider spread, and fasting, spreading fast. More severe cases among population, younger population. That's also very unfortunate. Lack of infrastructure and resources again came up right away, especially in healthcare in a big time this time. And unfortunately, we have spread into small towns and rural areas. So these are the different aspects, critical aspects, basically different from the wave one. So we figured we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So we did the same approach, collaborate with administration, and along with exceptional support from Pew. So we have now Dial Your Village is nothing but it's a different alternative of same Ravi Reddy Garu involved. So it's a same Philadelphia Telangana Association, right? So instead of that, we use Dial Your Village. It's basically, it's in short, it was an initiative informally started a few years back, but even though the earlier calls we used to, Ravi used to arrange calls to villages to where changes are happening. That's how we call Dial Your Village stuff. But over a period of time, he has been collecting the change leaders, the change makers, real ground level workers, so trying to listen to them. That's why, dialing, basically trying to listen to their experience, learn from their experiences. He has been doing that. Okay, so so we collaborated with them, and then they had to do a lot of work, willing sending the payments and calculation, make sure that things are auditable. It is not an easy job, and especially you will learn the pure. Ours is only like maybe 10% of 5% of their work. They have 90. At some point of time, the pure team was handling more than 180 projects, 180 small to big projects, 180. And this time also, second wave also, they have been handling various projects. So again, more hard work for Suresh, this time, because he has to deal with these oxygen logistics, isolation centers, and deal with more, more sad stories are keep coming up. So more work from Suresh and team as well. Okay. So we continued collaboration with government, and then we are further going to involve in vaccination or deal with economic impact and pull more dedicated ground level. So this is something that we want to achieve, is that, let's say, for example, some of you saw this series, some of you saw what's happening, and you are in Nalgonda area and you want to genuinely help, and and a long time volunteer partnership. That is if you ask, like, NRI organizations, that is where the disconnect is. We don't have enough connection with the trustworthy ground level volunteers. It is not so. It's a very scarcity is there, in the sense that there are people who go out of the way help. I agree, no doubt about it. But you need to have such a mindset that it should not be a complicated story. Okay, so they have to be very transparent. They need to, basically be very realistic. That is, transparent, be realistic, and reasonable. They need to analyze the need of properly. So finding such volunteers is very important. So idea is that we will attach more and more volunteers. So these are the pictures, some of the pictures. You will find, Suresh, in most of the pictures, and basically, in some places you only taking pictures, but otherwise all of these areas except those, the things that happened in Hyderabad, so they are there everywhere. Okay, so I took this bunch of pictures from the Facebook itself, but there are many more that we haven't. I haven't put it here. You can go through the nalgonda.org Facebook page and stuff. Okay, so this is briefly what we have been doing, and all of us. The thing is that all of us have our day jobs, and US, you can imagine, right? Nobody is like a retired kind of guys. Everybody has to run some of them have to run their companies, even in US. Even myself, during the first time and second time, unfortunately, I should have been helping even more actually. But during the first time, I work for a healthcare company, so they have a emergency requirement of mapping out COVID facilities and stuff. So that project I had to handle, and now this time again, I was going through a critical project. So this is reality for everyone, most of us. Okay. So now that's the end of the story not end of the work, but end of the story for today from my side. But let me, Suresh, please take just 3 or 4 minutes, a few minutes actually. I would say, I know you will have a separate talk again. I'll make sure that students get a separate talk from you. But just give your light on what is driving you, to help us. To help us from the ground. మనకి ఎందుకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నాం, తెలుగునే మాట్లాడొచ్చు. Everybody, I know you I think, by the way, Suresh has it's already 3 years, right? 3 or almost 4 years. So he was a regional bank manager for a regional bank, Sudha Bank. So he gave up his job to work on the Swachh Planet initiative to make a better planet. So he is dedicatedly working now for the society.